Hello, today I'm going to talk about sextortion email scams and why I think they're a good example of how cyber criminals can use psychology to manipulate their victims. What I found interesting about these scams is that they don't involve actually hacking someone's computer. It just involves using psychological manipulation to make you think they already have. The nature of this hoax is that it's a phishing scam where the sender claims that they have hacked your computer and secretly recorded you through your webcam while you're viewing or visiting adult content. This email has three main parts. The first is a fake hacking claim. The second is the threat to send embarrassing videos or pictures to your family, friends, coworkers. And the third is the demand for payment. And it's usually through like Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency because those are a lot harder to trace than regular forms of payment. And so some emails also include one of the victim's old passwords, and it makes using this makes the email seem real, but the password usually comes from like an older data breach and not from the victim's actual computer. And in the textbook, it says that phishing attacks rely on social engineering instead of directly attacking technology. And so sextortion emails are a good example because the attacker manipulates the victim instead of actually hacking their computer. And the main takeaway of the scam is that it's about creating fear and not proving that a hack actually happened. And so part two, analyzing the tactics to deceive. And this scam really relies on like four main fears, which can be, or four main tactics, I'm sorry: fear, urgency, embarrassment, and like technical tricks. And so victims are threatened with exposure, they're given a short deadline to pay, and so that most people often feel too embarrassed to ask for help. Some emails also include, like I said, an old password or spoof sender's email address to make it seem more legitimate. And so imagine opening your email before work and seeing your old password in the message. Even if nothing's actually been hacked, most people would immediately wonder if the threat is real. And so that's the type of emotional reaction that the scammer is trying to create. And in the textbook, it says that these attacks succeed because they manipulate people's emotions instead of actually relying on sophisticated hacking. And the main takeaway from this is that the scam relies much more on human psychology than technology. And then we have part three, the potential consequences. And the consequences can still be serious even though the email's fake. And victims can lose money if they pay the ransom. Others may install malware or have like your password stolen, like if they click malicious links or attachments or something like that. But the scam can also cause fear, anxiety, embarrassment, stress. There are people who have committed suicide over these threats. And so the main takeaway from this is that fake threats still have real life consequences. And what should you do if you find yourself in the situation? Stay calm, do not reply, do not pay, do not click any links or attachments. If the email includes old passwords, those should be changed immediately, and they should enable a multi-factor authentication to verify the email, click the sender's address, and remember that legitimate companies do not demand cryptocurrency or threaten to expose personal information. If you're unsure, then just go directly to that company's official website instead of using links in the email, and report the email as phishing and delete it. And because the textbook says that recognizing phishing scams and practicing like our good cybersecurity habits, that's the best way to prevent cybercrime. You hear all about that at work. So overall, I think the sextortion email scam is a good example of how criminals can use psychological manipulation to trick their victims into thinking that their computers have been hacked when actually they haven't.